welcome back to the Republic. My name is Pierre, and I am your host. Yes, H-O-S-T. You put emphasis. You see, if you put emphasis on the T, it becomes host. You know, like you mean it, host. You know what I'm saying? Like you mean it. One of the things that I'm gonna make emphasis here is that Big Brother. The government's always watching you and what you're doing, and all kinds of stuff. Always thinks that we're basically his HOES. You know what I'm saying? But we're not his HOES. We pay our damn taxes here. So now that we got that clear, let's get started. Let's have a real conversation. Let's talk about the importance of bringing our companies back from China. Let's talk about the fact that we need to stop all these companies going overseas just because they want, what is it, a tax haven, and they just want to pay cheap labor. No, they want to pay cents in taxes. No, like we need to stop that. I'd rather, in reality, I'd rather pay whatever it is that the product is worth versus having that product be made overseas. Um, we need to put the American people to work. We need to put America first, because we, over the past few years, yeah, we've been thinking about other countries. How do we help? How do we assist other countries? America is always there when it comes to military. America is always there when it comes to AIDS. America is always there when it comes to like feeding the hungry. America is always there to intervene in moments of despair. Whenever there's something going on around the world, America is there. But I feel like it has gotten to a point where America needs to put everything into context and realize that, if we just give, what are we getting in return? Like if you as a person, you're always giving. You yourself, you're gonna be empty on the inside. We just cannot allow that. You cannot allow that as a human being. And comparing this whole thing with moving our factories to China, just because, parentheses, we want cheap labor and all that kind of stuff and all that BS, we need to cut that because at the end of the day, the people who are going to be hurt the most are the American people. I know there's a lot of people out there who are not going to agree with, as an example, Donald J. Trump, our president. Yeah, there's a lot of things that he does that are just outrageous, ridiculous. It's not a behavior that a president should be engaging on. But at the end of the day, I have to say, this guy, the minute he mentioned we're going to bring our factories back, we're going to bring our employments back to the United States, I'll give it to him, we do need to start bringing our companies back to the United States. Yes, we may pay a higher price, you might pay higher taxes, if you want to put it this way. The product may be a little bit costly, but I'll rather pay what the product is worth versus me seeing and realizing that the future Americans, my kids, your kids, our grandchildren, are going to be suffering. They're not going to be employed. They're not going to have a job. So I'm going to make this analogy. Just imagine that you have an employer, right? And you're working from 6 a.m. in the morning to 7 p.m. As an example, you go to work, you're always there, you're a very devoted employee. Let's just assume that the employee is America, the United States of America. That's the employee, and your employer is all of those countries that are not America. Remember that. The employer is all of those countries that are not America. Let's see if we can put this puzzle together. So now what you do is, what happens when you suffer a stroke? You can no longer perform your functions at work. So they have to send you home, and basically you will be unemployed. So America, let's see it this way, suffers a stroke. And let's imagine the stroke is a representation of the economic crash down, the stroke represents the crash down, the economic crash down. And what we have here is a system that actually needs to recuperate, it needs time to heal. Right now, America needs that. America needs to think about what is it that I personally need before I can continue to perform my duties out there in the world. Because, yes, we are a global superpower. America is the best country in the world. There is nothing like America if you see it this way. Everybody wants to come to America. Why do they want to come to America? Well, let me see. Can somebody answer that for me? Well, because this is the greatest damn country in the world. And I, hell, agree with that. And I'm sure y'all agree with me too. And if you agree, make sure you like this video too and you subscribe to my channel because America is the best country in the world. And America needs to heal. And we need to bring our factories back. So before I conclude this, I just want to show you this little clip and you tell me what you think.
All right, time to bring in Blake Berman. Larry Kudlow, Blake, has been saying that, he would like companies to leave China and may offer some kind of incentives to do it.
Yeah, this was a new idea that was floated by Larry Kudlow yesterday when he was speaking to Charles Payne. Ashley, incentive is one way you could look at it, trying to incentivize U.S. companies to get out of China and come back home, as the focus and talk has been about how do you become less reliant on China. Or you could essentially say that this idea from Kudlow would be subsidizing companies to come back home. Here was the idea. Listen.
100% immediate expensing across the board. Plant, equipment, intellectual property, structures, renovations. In other words, if we had 100% immediate expensing, we would literally pay the moving costs of American companies from China back to the U.S.
So some might say, Ashley, this is a good idea. Get U.S. companies out of China, bring them home back to the U.S. But you got to wonder how the companies who are currently here in the U.S. might feel about their competitors essentially getting a free ticket and much more to come back into the country. Ashley?
Interesting stuff. Blake, thank
I don't know, y'all, but it's clear to me that this is a beatable solution. This works, and we can definitely put our American people back to work. One of my concerns is that a lot of these companies, I'm not going to mention names, they want to have their headquarters in the United States. That some of these CEOs, they want to live in the United States. However, they want to have different manufacturing companies down there in either China or who knows where at. And they just want to sell their products and gain 300% on those products. I feel that it's not ethical. It's not an ethical thing. It certainly works for them when it comes to finances, but it's not an ethical practice. So how do we ensure that our American people are not left behind? We need to ensure that these companies return to America, that our President Donald J. Trump is able to achieve some kind of deal that is going to allow these companies to return to America. And guess what? If they don't, well, my friend, I have bad news for y'all. You're going to have to pay an extra tax on top of that. On top of whatever you're importing, well, guess what? Pay an extra tax. If we're not happy with them, well, guess what? We're going to put an extra tax on top of that. Because these people want to make 300% more of what the damn product is worth. You know what? I'm just going to finalize with this. A lot of these CEOs, or just big businesses, or large corporations, or whatever you want to call them, what they're doing is they're moving these companies away from the United States, moving them overseas. And the minute they move them overseas, they want to come to the United States and try to sell their product. Well, this is the same as me saying, you know what? I'm actually going to build a home. This is going to be my new home. I'm going to keep my old home, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my toilet and I'm going to move it to my new property, you know? So I'm not going to have a damn toilet, you know, to shit on. So what I'm going to do is it's going to be so freaking stupid that I'm just going to be shitless, you know? Like, where am I going to shit? I have no place to shit. So what you need to do is build another freaking toilet. How about if they do that? What they need to do is try to have those people try to build some kind of economy, some way, shape, or form, and you need to keep those damn jobs here. Because the minute you walk in, for example, we go back to my analogy. If you come back to the house, you go back to the old house, from the new house to the old house, and you're trying to take a dump. Where are you gonna go? You got no damn toilet. Well, that's the same thing that's happening right now. They want to bring their products to America, and who's gonna buy it to you if people have no means to buy things? They don't have the money, they don't have the resources. You're depriving the American people from making money to buy those products that you're making. And eventually, now you're saying, yeah, I'm making a profit, I'm making profit, I'm making profit, but it's gonna get to a point where are you gonna sell your damn stuff? You're not gonna be able to sell it. You're gonna be screwed, glued, and tattooed, So how about we just have a smart discussion, and we just start bringing all these companies back to the United States and dump the BS about, oh, we're just gonna pay more taxes. I don't want to pay more taxes. Oh, it's just gonna kill me. I'm sure you can pay an extra buck. Because you people, you CEOs, you large corporations, you corrupt people, you just want it all for your pockets.